Hi guys, how you doing? This is Chris Archer here. Today is March 24th, I believe, Monday. Baltimore, Maryland here, overcast, guys. We get a couple days of sun here, and we're lucky, trust me. We'll get overcast and we'll get dampness and cold. When that sun, let me tell you something right now. When that sun, and you're in the sun, and there's nothing obstructing it, the temperature must be 20 to 30 degrees hotter than it is in the shade. It's just, you could tell that they're messing with something, right? Obviously, they're changing well, when you change anything, light carries frequency. So when you change it, it's going to change the frequency, right? It doesn't matter. Like if you sit in black light all night, right, you're going to feel like black light, in other words. So when I'm in the sun, you know, I'm in the shade and I'm colder than hell over here. I'm gonna tell you right now, in Baltimore, it's only like in the 40s or so, but the wind's blowing, it's damp all the time. The temperatures constantly are so different in the sun. There's definitely something, you know, magnifying that. Obviously, we know this, right? You can tell just by the temperature changes. I mean, it shouldn't be 30 degrees cooler, you know, in the shade than in the sun. It just shouldn't. Now, I was looking up aerial lightning. We want to talk about lightning. I'm going to show you what lightning is and how it's created and the illusion that is talked about in mainstream science. It gives you an illusion of what lightning really is, ground to air, whatever you want to call it. The illusion of lightning here on mainstream is an object here, right? Negative and positive attractions, or both, back and forth, right? So it could be here and up or down and up. That's the illusion of lightning, okay? Dad. Electricity, okay?
Dad, you listening?
Now, let's take a look at this. This just came up at the Shakespeare play. So Ariel, well, we've been talking about this word Ariel, have we not? If you haven't seen the breakdown in this word, it's pretty easy. So you got that. And then you have your AI right there. So you have your real artificial intelligence, which is what? Basically a transformer. That's basically what that is. Everything is relative, guys. I'm going to tell you right now. Electricity means Satan. I'm going to tell you that right now because I believe it's the exact opposite of how they distribute and how they make us pay for the electricity. It's the exact opposite of what it should be. Ariel is a spirit who appears in William Shakespeare's play The Tempest. Ariel is bound to serve the magician Prospero, which is who? In this case, let's just say, in this syntax, we're going to call it Satan, who rescued him from the tree in which he was imprisoned by what? Sycorax. Now, what tree? We can also reference that as the tree of life, or the tree of good and evil. Remember the tree of knowledge? And Adam and Eve. The witch who previously... So all these are always symbolic to the actual scriptures. It's how they do things, guys, in mainstream. They never give you the story or the real players. The witch who previously inhabited the island. Prospero greets disobedience with a reminder that he saved Ariel from Sycorax's spell. There's the promises of the devil, right? And with promises to grant Ariel his freedom. Ariel is Prospero's eyes. And again, when I say promises, imagine the politicians saying the same shit to you, right? Ariel is Prospero's eyes and ears throughout the play, using his magical abilities to cause the tempest in Act 1, which gives the play its name, right? And to foil other characters' plots to bring down his master. Again, let's just stop playing around. It's God and Satan and the creation. I mean, let's just stop. You know, the tempest. What is the temptation, right? Of Adam and Eve. It's just stupid. Okay, there it is. Ariel, 1838, right? The part was played by women from the mid-1600s. Whatever, it doesn't matter about that. Ariel's name means Lion of God. Lion of God. Now, is the Lion of God the hands of God, the arms of God, the fingers of God? These Ariels, guys, I'm going to tell you right now, are a real deal. Okay, they've been around for a while. Ariel may also be a simple play on the word Ariel. Oh, you don't say. Did I just say that? Scholars have compared him to sprites depicted in other Elizabethan plays and has sprites. Okay. If they mean pieces of writings, or do they mean sprites from the sky? We already know what they are. They're also aerials from a platform, and have managed to find several similarities between them. But one thing which makes Ariel unique is the human edge and personality given to him by Shakespeare. What are we, 3 years old, guys? This is exactly the depiction of the Bible and Jesus Christ and how he saved everybody. Because the stage directions of The Tempest are so precise, critics and historians are better able to see how this play may have originally been performed, and with other Shakespeare plays, several of the scenes involving magic have clear instructions on how to create the illusion required. When you look up at the sky, you're seeing an illusion, my friend. Just like Styx said, the grand illusion is real. It is. Everything that you think is real is not. Causing critics to make connections and guesses, like we always do today on YouTube, as to exactly what sort of technology would have been used in Shakespeare's troupe to stage Ariel's role in the play. It'll be the same technology that has always been here, that I've been trying to explain to you, that is hanging from a firmament. You just can't see it, guys. It's just, if you could see it, it wouldn't be a test, would it, to me? Why? Again, I'm going to tell you this life that we live is a test. It has to be. Why? Because we're put here and given free will to choose from good and bad. That's a test. Whether you know it's a test or not doesn't matter. That's the whole idea. The test is coming from one person. He wants to know who you are. So I can just think of the cheer from football. You know, who we tell them who we are. Anyway, you are a child, and a child from God who was predestined, okay, and written down. You have a name up there in heaven, written in the book of life. You know, the same book that God handed to the angels to write for Enoch. You remember that same book? The same book he has right there in front of him. You know, we see depictions all the time of these gigantic books here with these giants. They're everywhere. People need to get over it, man. We had giants here, and they probably still here. All right, let's just get over that. I mean, honestly, let's forget about the millions of years of dinosaurs. That shit ain't happening, man. The Earth hasn't been here that long. Everything's been a lie. You have to go back to the scriptures, and you'll start to see that the Earth hasn't been here for millions of years. And the stories of these dinosaurs may be something different that they changed. Okay? We now see that there's people here that were so tall and so big that they were as high as mountains. Why were they as high as mountains? Why were they measured that way? Why? Because when God destroyed them, they became the mountains that we live on today. Okay? So when you live in a mountain, you're living inside of one of these titans who were laid to rest and turned to stone. Well, let's just face it, guys. We're in a storybook that God wrote, and it's not over yet. It's getting ready to come to the end. The last chapter's getting ready to be dictated to you. It's already been written, but it's getting ready to be given to you verbally and shown to you visually. Now, we talked about what side you're on here. It's important to be on the right side of history or life or whatever you want to call it when it comes to the power of God, because at the point of that time, when that starts to happen, okay, when the change starts, you're going to be trapped, because if you're on the wrong side of history, you're going to stay there, because the illusion God said that he will give you would be so... I don't know if you're coming out of that, in other words. Like, for that to be your last test, I'm not even sure. You may not ever... That may be... Guys, the reason he's doing that is because the blind faith that you had in God and his love for you and what Jesus did and everything that they did to save you from the laws that the Hebrews, right, kind of took from God and kind of changed to make their own laws, okay, if you want to get it down to it. He wants to know, guys. He just wants to know where you're at, what side you're on. Okay, this is a test. If I create something, I already know where you came from. I know who created you, right? But if I show you everything in this world, right, that's written in those scriptures, there's a reason why. He wants you to read that. He wants you to understand it for yourself, okay? You don't have to understand it the way everybody understands it, but you do have to understand one thing, that the Word of God is real. It was written down. It was also taken out of the canon a long time ago. We know this by the Catholic Church, who changed documentations, created new religions, right? Just to what? Just to divide people into pieces so they could fight over what? Their religion. At the same time they're doing that, they're what? They're putting God on the shelf, is what they're doing when they're fighting each other, when they're dividing. We know this. We see it in life every day. Politics, school, everywhere. Everybody has a little group. Everybody's divided against each other. And they compete that way, even though they feel it's for fun, and that's what they're told. If you understand who's running that spiritual force, then you know that sometimes it gets out of control, right? That's the whole distraction of life. Just if you could put all that aside and just see what's right in front of you, and that's what God's trying to tell you. The scripture tells you that. Okay? It says here, and it looks to be depicted as a woman, but it says here, Ariel is widely viewed as a male character. Okay? Although this view has wavered over the years, like everything else has. Right? Especially in the Restoration, when for the most part women played the role, Ariel has also been involved. Okay, to me it sounds like a play on words, though lightly, and then the female male thing again is a distraction. Okay, it just is, because the Bible's strictly clear on this. All right, with the female male thing. Right? Let's not get into it. All right, you can debate over whatever you want, but when you're replacing male figures that God created with deities that are female, then you have a problem here. Okay, compares to more rebellious Caliban in terms of service to the European Prospero. Whenever Caliban desired not to obey the command of Prospero, Ariel would persuade him to do the work, either by using magical powers or by using force. The Ariels, guys, are God's hands, it looks like. Role in the play. What is the role here? The Ariel appears in the second scene, or Ariel, of the play to report to Prospero and his success in carrying out his command to shipwreck the king of Now, this seems to me like a whole story here of creation, Noah and everything else, Jesus Christ, the whole thing, the Son of Man, all of it, right here, the temptation. We haven't got to the other part yet of Jesus Christ or the Son of Man, but it seems to be depicting something like that in this play, if you see how they work it. They love to put their spin on everything. It is so confusing to people that way. I believe it is. It's always confusing, and they love that. So, I'm looking for aerial lightning. It's not giving it to me. I mean, I tried. Let's try definition. Oh, wait a minute, I'm sorry. No wonder it didn't give it to me. I don't know where that came from. I didn't put that in there. I put the word Ariel in there. I don't know where the name came from, Ariel. Aerial lightning. I'm not sure how that happened. Let's get the definition of that. Look, I love this. This picture just tells it all. You see the signal flow? Lightning is not what you think it is, guys. It's a pretty close-up type of effect. To actually physically administer the lightning to the ground, you actually have to be close to the ground with something. And that's what these arrows are. Okay? A lightning rod. I didn't ask for a lightning rod. I just asked for, wait a minute, I asked for the aerial definition. Aerial lightning. I don't need to know what, you see what comes up here? That should tell you something. Wikipedia, a lightning rod. When I put in aerial lightning definition, it comes up lightning rod. And I'm going to show you why in a minute. Okay, because lightning is not exactly what you were told. Okay, it just isn't. And it doesn't have it. It won't give me aerial lightning. That's just insane. I mean, it'll give me strikes, and it won't give me the definition of aerial lightning? Why? So you see, I can't even get the definition here. I'm not getting it. Of aerial lightning. That should be a definition. There should be a definition here. I mean, it should come right up, guys. It shouldn't be like you should have to search for this shit. You see how shit goes in the Elite's handbook here? You can't get nothing. Look. Merriam-Webster dictionary is what I wanted. There's nothing. See? Look how fake that is. The lightning rod comes up. Wikipedia. I can't even get the damn definition. A lightning rod, lightning conductor, is a metal rod mounted on a structure and intended to protect the structure from lightning strike. If lightning hits the structure, it will preferentially. Did I say that word? Preferentially? All right, preferentially strike the rod and be conducted to ground through a wire. There you go. Instead of passing through the structure where it could start a fire or cause electrocution. So in other words, bypass it. Lightning rods are also called finials. Check it out. Air terminals or strike termination devices. I mean, no wonder they didn't put the definition of aerial lightning in here, because they couldn't tell you what that is. I mean, that's insane. Am I right? Look at this. What comes up for this? The finial is one of these things. On top of the spires that we talk about, the signal transmitters in the old days that they're hiding. Check it out. That's a finial. It's insane. The roof, flagpoles. There you guys. You might have been right about all these flagpoles and all this shit on the roof and stuff like that, because it looks to be like, you know, how they do things here in YouTube, that they're indirectly telling you shit. In a lightning protection system, we don't need that. If lightning hits the structure, we don't need that. Lightning protection system, structure protectors, analysis of strikes, aircraft protectors, watercraft protectors, risk assessment standards. Guys, they're not getting any information on aerial lightning. Ain't that something? That's insane. And we're on Google here. So this is one of the biggest search engines ever. I can't get a definition. I should be able to get a definition for aerial lightning. Aerial. Strikes, silks, aerials. I can't get a definition for shit. Cannot find them. Look. Did you see that? Watch. I'm going to hit it. Cannot find them. What? Aerials 1800 Moscow. Well, there's pictures. That mine came up. My pictures are coming up on the search engine. Are you insane? What? Unbelievable. So, look. I can't even believe it came up, to be honest with you. That was insane. My actual pictures came up here on Google. The images. Why can't we? What am I, the only one that has anything on it? Aerial lightning protect. I don't understand why we can't get it. Conductor. Lightning conductor. They're all rods, guys. Look at this. Aerial lightning protection. Astron Wireless. Let's check this shit out. Oh, here you go. Oh, they're going to give us a little introduction to lightning. How nice of these mainstream losers. Here we go. They're going to give us a little quiz, a little test here, a little information update, you know, to jolt your mind, your memory, right? If you don't remember, we'll take care of that for you here on Google, right? Thus your Mandela effect. Lightning has been around since the beginning of time. In fact, at this very moment, lightning is striking somewhere on the earth. Now, I find it hard to believe that lightning always strikes on the earth. You know? I mean, unless they're striking it, you know, all the time, constantly, that something's running we don't know about. I do. I find it hard to believe that lightning strikes every last second on the earth. I do. Let me tell you something. With the fake storms that are going on, that's true. That statement is true. It's insane, but it's true. Lightning has been around since the beginning of time. Okay. What does that mean to you? That means lightning started with Satan, guys, when God threw him out. In fact, at this very moment, lightning is striking somewhere on the earth. In the lower 48, blah, 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 lightning is most prevalent in Florida with an average of 700 to 1,000 storms days per year. And Rocky Mountains, especially in the Colorado area, with an average of 70 storms per year. California, northern parts of the U.S., blah, blah. That's going to be my introduction to lightning. Well, thank you very much. I know nothing, and now I actually know less. Lightning is most common starting in the spring. Come on, give me something about lightning. Lightning can form and stay in the upper atmosphere. And why? Because here's your platform, here's your aerial, and here's your other aerial. And there's a signal flow going, okay? That's why. That's what aerial lightning is. It's going across a signal flow all the way wherever it wants to go. Okay? And it's got points. Each point has a signal flow, and it's an amplifier, guys, is what it does. That's how it works. The shit they talk about in this mainstream science and the shit that they say they have, the technology, they don't have. All right. And the energy present in lightning bolt can be considerable, and direct hit will inflict the maximum damage, blah, blah, blah. A lightning bolt will often drag or jump along the ground. I'm going to tell you this again. The aerial that hits the ground with the lightning is very close to the ground and close to the object. I promise you that. If you think those all you have to do is go to your weather forecast and you look at the term ceiling. And we've talked about this before. Your ceiling is the top of the cloud deck. And what is the top of the cloud deck? The top of the cloud deck is the platform that's being built on the rods that touches and crosses the fence that's already existing on the firmament. Okay? There's structures on this firmament we don't know about. We can't see any of that stuff up there, guys. Again, that's a test, I believe. Again. Let's look at antenna mounting. We don't need to do that. So, and we don't need any of that shit. So we see that, right? I can't find anything on it. So let's go to the pictures and show you the proof that lightning exists from point to point. Here. Yeah. The first picture here is from a lightning strike. All right, on a random video. It's an aerial lightning. It's just going across the sky. We've seen this in the summertime. They call it heat lightning. You've seen that, right? How people call it plasma. Nowadays, you're going to hear plasma all the time. Plasma events, changeover event. Let me just tell you something. The lightning and the strikes and the changeovers and the resets are coming from the aerials that are built on these platforms that are creating all of this energy that are destroying and burning the shit out of God's creation right now. It happened before. It's happening again. We need to understand that. Okay? It's a gradual process, I believe, that they're lying about. And they will give us, I promise, a couple good jolts for good measure eventually to get this thing to get this thing where they want it. I don't know what their plans are. No one does. I don't even know what the plans are for the geography of this country, because promise me, that shit changed too in 1811. Drastically. The Great Lakes weren't even there in the 1790s, guys. Neither was California. It was an island. It was completely a complete waterway, all the way up to the top, all the way to Washington. And that area, British Columbia, was part of the mainland. California was never part of that land. And then all of a sudden, we have this earthquake. We have all these disasters in 1811 and 1812. And then all of a sudden, all the maps changed in California now. Oh, we were wrong. It really wasn't an island. It was actually connected. And by the way, the mountains were there too. We just missed them. No. Something happened. They created it. They're doing it the way I said. Okay? They have taken control right here of these aerials and the weather and everything else that's up there. If their time isn't now, it must have come, and we're right in the middle of it. We're in the middle of a massive changeover here, it looks like. It's not happening all at once. It's happening in gradual spurts, and it's probably going to get worse and worse until the end. Now, will God intervene? Did he do that before? Has God intervened before? I'm sure something has went down that we do not know about. People have died, people were replaced, and the numbers were never changed. The buildings were killed, destroyed, everything was done. We see it. We know it. They can't hide it from us anymore. I don't care if you believe in Tartaria or not. It doesn't really matter, because the geography of this world has been changed drastically in less than 230 years ago. That should raise eyebrows to every historian, to every person who's interested in any type of truth in this world. That should raise your interest to know that there's evidence under building in every city, in every major city, that there used to be buildings built on top of stuff, that there's still to this day. If you go downtown in Baltimore, they still to this day, to the Basilica, the original Catholic Church that started everything here in Baltimore. including the Catholic Archdiocese and everything, the Catholic curriculum, all of it. It started here in Baltimore. If you go there, the actual church that was built around it was built around an old church that was destroyed. What was going on, guys? Who was destroying this stuff and why? We now know that giants were here, like the Bible said, and probably are still today. And the Bible's always been correct. It always comes back to the creation of God and the Bible scriptures. No matter what they put in front of it, eventually, in the long run, it always comes back to be uncovered. That it's always something covering up the truth. So underneath of us lies the truth that we actually walk on today. Now here's the truth. That's a lightning strike that's going across the sky, and it'll keep going. And it'll follow a pattern along the sky of a platform that's called a signal flow, and that's about all it's called. All right. Now if I look at that lightning strike, I see closer there's some objects there. You see that right there? There's a bay circle. See it? And if you look a little closer, you're also going to see points. Now get back to this. You see the points. Comes out of here, hits that, gets sent to there, to that point. It's directed to that point, and now we're down here to the aerial. Another line, another direction, another communication line, another energy line right there, and now we're down here in the area where the actual tool is being created. Right here. And it's going to drop to the ground. And like I said before, they're not that far from the ground or the object that they strike. I promise that. And it's not coming from the ground up either. This is a direct hit with lightning rods is what this is. And again, you'll see the origin of the lightning strike comes from a machine. It's man-made, just like we told you. Okay? That electricity is man-made. All right? It comes from another portal here, out of the actual platform that you cannot see that's being cloaked. See it a little bit better here. And you can also see the points also. Okay. And in black and white you can see that. The big bay that it comes out of, the big hole. And rods are being used, guys. This is a signal flow. We're using structures. Okay, so the signal's flowing through wires or rods. Got me? And when it strikes something, it's right over top of it, I promise you. Alright, that's not a joke. Your ceiling and your sky will tell you that. And when it's cloudy and rainy, go look at the height of your ceiling. Because it'll tell you, if I go to my forecast for Baltimore and I look at the ceiling, right, I'm going to get anywhere from 1/8 of a mile all the way up to a mile, or just clear. I forget the word they use for it, but there'll be no ceiling. When you have just a blue sky, either night or day, you see the stars, there'll be no ceiling there. The ceiling is the cloud deck, from the ground to the cloud deck. And I'm going to tell you that that will be the platforms that they build these aerials off of. And these platforms are on every picture. So you see the tracks, how they sit on them and they just move across them. The platforms just move across like sleds, dude. You see how they're set on there? Like that. And all the action's coming off of them, like cranes. Like that. Little face there. Aerials are transformers. They are entities. A pretty complicated process, guys, especially for someone who's just starting to see this. It's tough to deal with. I can tell you that right now. You're going to have to keep watching. There ain't no way we can go back 6 years and tell you all the shit that we learned to get to this point, because you're just going to have to do the homework yourself. And just either you're going to have to do it or you're going to have to trust someone who you know does it. If we take a look at a picture that's really close to the center of the earth here, by the way, we're getting structures. And when you see these gleams, okay, they're not just light pillars, okay? They're gleaming off something, guys. That means there's something behind it, okay? I know this because I've been watching these gleams for 6 years now. And I've never not found a track or part of the the ceiling or sky fence gleaming off of it. If I go from here to here, okay, I'm getting, and you can see this is a track or some kind of structure in the center. Okay? Now I'm having trouble seeing it in the daytime here, so I'm hoping you can see this. You can also see in the background there's some kind of mountain that is sitting on. And this is a massive structure. As you see, there's a structure here, a structure here. It must be going like that. It must be a big giant stand or track structure right there. Like it's got to be some kind of elevator too. There's got to be something in the middle there, or something right here, in the middle right here of the earth where it stands, where you can go up. There's got to be something going on there. There's too much going on there, guys. Look, see it? Must be an elevator up to the ISS space station and beyond that into the Sky Dome, Atlantis. And you can see it right there. It's an absolute structures. It's an absolute structure in the center right there. And I got to tell you, that area right there where that track is, I bet you the Tree of Life was right in that area right there, right in the same area, close to it, right around it, right. It probably was built right on it. There you have it. And then you have something like this, and you're going to have Dick Tracy here. Okay? Dick Tracy. He's on the case, and he's going to tell you that's a planet. Okay? At first glance, anybody can say anything at that point. I mean, honestly, guys, if you're just going to go, hey, look at that, like some guy we know, like Roger that, point to the sky and say, look, see? Look. But on further investigation, you always find something different. They never look at it. I don't know how you could just listen to somebody when they're pointing to something. I mean, I've never been like that. Like, if you show me something, I'm like, all right, cool, thanks. I'm going to take it, I'm going to do this. I'm going to say, hey, yeah, that's weird. Look at that. That's round ball-like almost. Wow. Now, if I'm a guy from mainstream science and I'm a Planet X guy, I'm thinking Planet X, right? I'm planet, right next to the sun. But that's not who I am. I'm going to pull it up and do all kind of shit like that. And like that. And like that. And I'm going to find out that it's attached to a structure. You see? Yeah, I'm not, this is what I'm talking about. Take people's information and then go do your own homework, because sometimes you might see something they don't, right? That's not your fault or anybody else's fault. That's just who you are, okay? And like I said, when I saw this, I'm like, oh, thanks for showing me that. So I needed to go here, take a look at that, and then I needed to do this. I want to see what that is. I need to know what that is. I got to accentuate it somehow, right? I need to see it. What is that? Look at that. See it? You see behind, there's a structure there. So this thing's attached to a track, guys. It's moving on a track here, whatever it is. Okay? You can see it. All that structure right there with it. It's not a planet by any means. That's what they're going to tell you by just looking at it. But you can't just look at something. You have to actually do... I mean, you can't just point to something in the sky. The sky's too damn big and too vague and too damn deceptive to be pointing to it and saying that's that and that's it, and wrap it up and start the bus, right? At further inspection, you see there's a massive structure around it. So I can't buy that's a planet, because I'm just not going to do it. I see what it is. So I'm sorry, Mr. Tracy, but this case is closed. That, my friend, is a light structure on a track, and it's a bunch of shit behind it, above it, everywhere. There's no way to even say that would be any. You can't see past the sun structure right there. That's attached to it. When you keep going down, this is crazy. This is like, Where's Waldo? You know, like, there's a million faces in here, but there's one that stands out for me. If you guys just peruse a little bit to the center and let your eyes drift to the southwest a little. I mean, the southwest a little. You'll see what I'm talking about. If you're looking in the center of the picture, you just drift off to the southwest, and you're going to see that face right there. See it? Nose, eye, brow, head, beard, lips. Okay, the sky's full of this shit. These entities are real. There's a face right there. And again, this just looks wispy clouds in the sky and a beautiful day, when in reality, the beautiful day really is a beautiful nightmare. That's a machine, and that's a demon. Okay? So your beautiful day just turned into reality. Okay, that's what's going on in this world. What our eyes see are fooling the shit out of our mind. Why? Because we were taught the wrong thing. So you only have to be open-minded. You don't even have to be that smart. Obviously, look at me. I can tell you right now, it's not that we're smart, it's just that we're perceptive. We don't take what other people say. I've never done that. I've always been my own person. I can't accept what other people do. I've never been able to accept anybody else's process in this world. Why? Because I've always thought it was stupid and not logical. And I've always turned out to be correct. Because everything is stupid and everything is not logical. Because that's the way life was created, difficult. Why is life made more difficult than it is? Because the more you struggle in life, the less you worry about shit like this. Right? The less you worry about that. That's why we do it. Pretty damn easy game if you get down to the logistics of it. The logician of the magicians. Angels, sort of, kind of, just structures hanging around. Entities for real. So you want to call them falling? Go ahead. Doesn't matter. They're structures though. They're hanging from fences. They're not hovering. Ain't nobody hovering, guys. Weird sky. Reflection off of a simulator here that's in the front, like a headpiece on the sun, making it every damn color but the right one. Tracks along the bottom with shit hanging off of it. Do a reverse here and take the black and white. We're going to pull out stuff that we didn't see on this side of that. See? Now, if I do the reverse of that, I'm going to pull out the structures that are white instead and make them black. There we have it. So we're seeing there is a big structure there. It's weird, and that's the actual not ultraviolet, but that is the negative. There you have it. Looks like something like an angel, but what this really is going to be an entity. I mean, it's just tools, and it looks like a lot of shit, but when it's done, it's going to look like an aerial. Okay? And it actually can fan itself out, so it starts like that. Like, look how small they can condense themselves to be, and then this will fan right out these arms right here like that. It's crazy. They can just pull them in like a blender, pull them back in. These things can replicate as fast as they can, or de-replicate as fast as they can be made. It's crazy. You ever see a storm just go back up in the clouds, like a tornado? It's not just like by chance. It's being controlled that way. Look at all this junk, guys. Look at the object here. This object right here is massive. It's shooting shit out here. It's got objects over here. It's got matter being sprayed over here. You see how they shoot rods and matter at the same time? Look at that explosion right there. You see that explosion of matter coming out of these barrels? Look at these barrels, man. See them? Just shooting shit everywhere out. Rods, matter, all kind of crap. It's like a big giant printer, engraver. Look at a rod gun right there shooting out right there. It's always coming out of another one. We're replicating right out of another one. That's why I call them matter horns. They look like horns. Like you're blowing gigantic horns. Like them big Swiss horns that they blow. Look at these damn things. This is from Beth over in New Zealand. These are, no, this is from Demon Hunters. Man. Okay, Demon Hunters. Look at these. Look at the side. Look at the detail. I mean, come on. That's a sky full of evil forces. Look at it. Faces and all kind of shit. These things are wearing helmets. You got to look at the front of these arrows. They're wearing helmets and shit. You can see their faces underneath them. They're connected to the damn transformer. They're part of it. So this is from, what, Irma? Look at that shit. Yeah, we're just flying over, getting ready to do some damage on the other side. A little colorful there. You can see the face of that demon right there. Oh my god. I mean, hello. There's a dome on the head right there. He's doing havoc. He's got tools from hell coming down the bottom. Massive turbines, brushes, and axes, and battle axes, and all kinds of shit. I mean, these guys are equipped for destruction, son. I mean, if you want to call it that, they're equipped. Look at this guy's face, guys. Look at this guy right here. Check him out. Are you serious? Check this out. They're always wearing these big-ass beards and shit with these helmets on. Craziness. Look at that. His face. These guys are insane looking. Looks like a massive 747 with a face on it. You know, like Bob the Builder grew wings or something and took off. Look at that shit. That's insane. Look at all. You can't even see it all. It's so much shit. That's one of the most classic shots I've ever seen from anyone. This shot from Demon Hunters. It's insane what goes on there. You've seen a lot of these shots already. I didn't show you the moon shots. Here's some tracks. You see, a chemtrail is nothing more than a rod going across an existing track with chemicals on it. Okay, we're structuring out the platform. In other words, a couple more of these, and then we got one of these. And then we have aerials hanging off of it. Okay? To put it to you there. There's one forming right there above it. Faces. Look at that shit coming out. Look at that right there. Right off the nose right there. You got 2 eyes. Big long ass nose and shit, mouth. Shit coming out right there. Isn't that insane? Just crazy. I mean, the pictures, the stuff in there is just, structures in here are just, I don't know, just, you can't miss the shit, guys. I don't know how anybody else ain't seeing it the way I see it. A lot of people do, some people do, but not a lot, not many. You see how the moon in there is on a wheel there. It's like a wheel of fortune. Yeah. Like a dialer. Like your dialer on your rotor dialer. See it? 3-dimensional too, you can tell why. See it right here, you can tell this is 3-dimensional. See it? You can see the inside of it, that's why. Looks like there's a square in there. You can tell it's an object. In other words, stuck to the moon. There's a projector with a track right here. You can see the track right there. Up top. What the hell is that? The Apollo space capsule that got stuck on the track? Tried to land on the moon? Oh, Jesus. Guys, understand, if the moon's on a track and there's a big giant projector system around it, understand that the whole moon landing bullshit has to be done in the studio, okay? That's not what it looks like around the moon, I'm sorry. It just doesn't. It's like the big wheel, like a pinwheel, look at it. You just spin it for bad luck. Some of these shots are just absolutely ridiculous. I saw some of these. You take a shot like that, and you don't even know what the hell it is, and you look at that, you see all these objects stuck inside of it. Look at this damn thing, guys. Look at the size of this arrow. Look at that, coming off. See it? You can't even tell what it is. You can tell what it is there, look at it. You can see structures, you can see it hanging. And there's a lady I've been watching named Gina Maria. I know you guys know her. She's starting to talk about the ships up in the sky, so just to get you on the wrong, or not to get you off at the wrong foot, I was trying to help you out just by making a couple comments on your videos to let you know that what you're seeing in the sky are not ships, but they're hanging on tracks. So if you wanted to do some more research on that, you can look at some of my videos and make your own assumption on that. So I was just trying to help her out there a little bit. So I made a couple suggestions of what she was looking at. If she needs anything, if you're listening, Miss Maria, if you need any more information about what's going on up there, about what you're seeing in your skies and what I'm showing people and what's up there, you can always email me, I guess, or just leave your email here on the video. Okay, we'll do that. All right. Now, more stuff. Just the sky is just it's like a grid. Yeah, it's just Another problem with seeing or anything incoming would be not just the building, but the sky itself. Like, I hear demon hunters say a lot, why would they build and put all this money into this structure if they knew planets were incoming and they would break through it or anything like that? Because even if the planet's not coming through, you guys are definitely telling me that the planet is bringing a debris field. That's what you're saying. So when that debris field hits, all right, how's it not breaking the structure of all these of the track? Why would they even build it if they know it's coming, right? It's not. It's coming from the fence. So in other words, if I'm above the fence, I'm safe. Okay? That's the whole logic behind it. All right? Understand this has happened before, and it's been explained away in a million details again, just like it's being done now. As we go back and look, we see all these disasters are explained away with, and they always say they're explaining it in their terms of what they understand. No, I'm sorry, but you can stop that shit right here, because the people recording it are the ones who know. Okay? Stop that. I don't want to hear that. Don't say that, because it's absolutely 100% not true. They weren't explaining it what they saw and what they knew in the times. The shit that was written down by the same people who were creating it. Don't tell me that. They're not going to allow Joe Schmo, some bloke from down the street, just to go ahead and write it down. We're going to take his word for it. Okay? It's not going to happen. Why don't you wise up, people? Everything you read comes from the same skank balls that are trying to lie to you. So you have to read through it in between the lines. You have to. That's a mistake here on YouTube. I hear it a lot. Even the people who call themselves truthers take the mainstream message, right, and just keep adding bullshit to it. No matter what they're gonna go, they're just playing, you guys. They're playing left and right, and you're in the middle, like we talked about before. What's in the middle? You know what I'm talking about. You guys know the saying, right? You got your right, you got your left, and who's stuck in the middle? You are. And that's what happens in this. In every YouTube channel, they just take what the mainstream says, right? Build a false narrative to block it or to go against whatever they said. Now you got everything covered, all right? And you're in between wondering what the hell the truth is, and you're seeing something different, and you can't figure it out because nobody has the answers. And you try to look it up, and you still can't figure it out. And then one day, like me, after 6 years, you say, oh, I get it. The people giving me the information are liars. But that's how I see it, you know. Again, more aerials coming out of the mouth of another aerial. Look at that entity right there. Looks like a big fish with something coming out of his mouth. We're replicating matter out of other structures. And they're all hanging from a massive platform. And how are they moving across the sky? You can see sometimes the clouds move separately with other clouds above them. You can see that. Okay? Why? Because one's a platform and one is the tool that's moving underneath of it. And the whole thing, just like all the star systems that are on projectors, move in synchronicity. You ever notice that the moon and all, once you pinpoint the point of everything in one night, if you just watch it, they all move at the same time. Why? Because they're all set in the same structure. They're not moving freely in space. So now again, that proves that right there again, that if every last star moves at the same speed, then something must be up, right? Then someone has control of it. That's just legit logic again. I should just call myself the logical truther. The logician. The Christian logician. Alright. You get the point here. Anybody doesn't understand that, you can just keep listening, or you could just go somewhere else and get your information. Alright, and then I'll see you back here in 2 years when we're past you. And we're talking about stuff that you'll never understand again. So, again, that's like part of the whole grand illusion too. You just can't pull the plug on the truth, can you? So it takes you some people 2 years to come back to the same person that told them 2 years ago that the shit was going on, and now I'm 2 years ahead of you, like so are the rest of the people. So now you got to learn again. You're still behind. Yeah, that's how it works here.